Welcome to our Bible study. We will be studying Genesis chapter 38, verses 1 to 11. This is a story about Judah, the son of Jacob, and Tamar, his daughter-in-law. Now, if we look at how the chapters are arranged in the Bible and in the book of Genesis, we would see that up to chapter 37, the story starts about Joseph. Then chapter 38, the story about Judah and Tamar is inserted in there. And then chapter 39 goes back to talk about Joseph. And chapter 38 is very relevant in the Bible because it gives us the genealogy of Jesus and King David in the Bible. So this is how it all started. And we are going to learn a little more about that story in this Bible study today. So now I'm going to read Genesis chapter 38, verse 1 to verse 5. Now at that time, Judah left his brothers and went down to stay with a certain Adullamite named Hira. There, Judah saw a daughter of Shua, a Canaanite, and he took her as his wife and lived with her. So she conceived and gave birth to a son, and Judah named him Then she conceived again and gave birth to a son, and named him Onan. And she conceived and gave birth to still another son, and named him Shelah. It was at Shizbib that she gave birth to him. Now, Judah went down to spend some time with a friend called Hira. And while he was there, he saw his wife. She was a Canaanite woman. And the Bible says that he took her for his wife. He lived with her. And they got 3 sons. The name of the first son was The name of the second son was Onan, and that meant vigor and strength. And the name of the third son was Shelah. So Judah had 3 sons from his wife. Now I'm going to read chapter 38, verse 6. Now Judah took a wife for his firstborn. Her name was Tamar. When Judah went down to his friend, saw someone that he liked, and chose that person. But now, verse 6 says that Judah chose a wife for his firstborn and her name was Tamar. Genesis chapter 38, verses 7. But Judah's firstborn, was evil in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord killed him in judgment. Well, it does not say what he did that caused the Lord to kill him in judgment, but it said he did wickedness. He was wicked in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord killed him. We are not sure if Judah understood that he died at the hands of the Lord, or if Judah just felt that he died. Genesis chapter 38, verse 8. Then Judah told Onan, "Go into your brother's widow and perform your duty as a brother-in-law under the Levirate marriage custom. Be her husband and raise children for the name of your brother." So Judah went for his second son. He had lost and now he went to his second son Onan, and he told Onan, "Go to your brother's wife and perform the duties as a brother-in-law and get her impregnated so that your brother's seed, his name, his inheritance would be carried on." Now Judah was following the Levirate rate law marriage custom of that time, where if the brother had a wife and died, and there was another brother, he could marry her and continue his seed, the seed in his brother's name, so that his inheritance would not be lost. And it seems that Onan was obedient in that he married Tamar. Onan knew that the child, heir, would not be his, but his dead brother's. Whenever he lay with his brother's widow, he spilled his seed on the ground to prevent conception, so that he would not give a child to his brother. Onan knew what he was doing. He was preventing Tamar from getting an heir, but yet he was having intercourse with Tamar. And the Bible says that whenever he did that, he put his sperm on the ground. So we know that the Lord sees everything. And the Bible says that the Lord was not pleased about it. And we're going to read that in the next verse. But what he did was displeasing in the sight of the Lord. Therefore, he killed him also in judgment. So now, the Bible says that the Lord did not like what Onan was doing. It seemed to be a practice, was not a one-off thing, and he killed him also in judgment. So at this point in time, Judah had only one son left out of his 3 sons. 2 died while they were married to Tamar. And Judah began to suspect or to think that Tamar had a curse on her life, because he was losing his young sons, his young men, when they went into a relationship with this woman. And although the Levite custom said that he would have to give her the next son, Judah was very hesitant because he worried about the well-being of his last and only son. And we shall read this in the next verse. Genesis 38, verse 11. Then Judah said to Tamar, his daughter-in-law, remain a widow at your father's house until Shelah, my youngest son, is grown. But he was deceiving her, for he thought that if Shelah should marry her, he too might die like his brothers did. So Tamar went and lived in her father's house. So Judah knew in his mind that he just did not want to give Tamar his last son. He had seen 2 sons died while they were connected to her, and he was not willing to give her his last son. It seems that he did not understand that God had killed him for being bad and wicked, for displeasing, doing things to displease God. He did not put the connection with the wicked ways of his son and that God was displeased with whatever was doing, and that he killed and it was not Tamar. And then his second son, who went and enjoyed intercourse with Tamar, but used a contraceptive method to not to give her children, so that his big brother would have an heir. So Judah, like any father, was willing to protect his last son, even if it meant deceiving Tamar. So he sent Tamar back to her father's house. But now Tamar went back as a widow, waiting on Judah's last son to grow up. This placed Tamar in a bad place, because she was not allowed now to look for another husband, but she would have to wear the widow clothing to let everyone know that she was a widow and waiting for remarriage to a brother. So Judah knew that she would have waited for eternity because he had no intention of giving Shelah, his last son, to her. So she was alone, she was a widow, and she was without a child. And Judah, he knew what he was doing. Now these two people, Judah and Tamar, would go on to have twins. And we will do that in the next Bible study. And these twins are in the lineage of Jesus.